All right, let's do this. We are going to begin tonight in easy seat. And for those of you who may be new, my name is Ruby. I'm going to be leading you through this essential movement class. And this is Ashley. She's going to be your student model today. So she'll just be practicing as I lead you through. If you get confused and you need a visual, this will be your go-to. Otherwise, you can just try your best to listen to my voice. And as we begin, we'll close down the eyes if that's comfortable. If not, just focus on a drishti, whether that's the backs of your eyelids or a little grain in the wood on the floor. Allowing your shoulders just to rest above the hips. You don't have to put too much effort into anything right now. Just doing your best to find alignment in a space of comfort. On your next breath out, just release any and all tension and stale energy from your body. And for the next minute, just stay with yourself in your own normal, unhurried breath. Check in with your body and your energy. And without labeling, make a small assessment for yourself. As you take your next inhale, pull from the crown of your head up a little further to the ceiling. Your shoulders will naturally pull back into space, and then you'll allow them to rest down the spine. Allow your energy to travel down the length of your back and into your sitting bones. As you ground your energy, notice your feet connected to your mat or maybe to the ground. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more deep breaths. Expanding inhales. Relaxing exhales. Taking the next moment to set an intention for your practice based off of your assessment. Whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual. What would you like to make more space for or let go of in your practice tonight? One breath to seal that intention. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like. We're not doing too much yet. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, take a gentle twist to your right. Your left hand will find your right leg. Your right hand finds the ground behind you. We're not overthinking, so just stay and breathe. any tension in your hips releases on your out breath. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, twisting now to your left, connecting right hand to your left leg without pulling, and letting your left hand rest behind you. You shouldn't be overexerting or pulling too much weight into the left palm. Instead, focus on knitting through the center and lifting through your heart. Final grounding breath. Inhale, arms up through center, chin up as well as you take the gaze between your hands. Lifting the eyes open, maybe blinking a few times. And then rolling over into your hands and knees, tabletop position. You can always just unlock your ankles and swing around to one side. Set up your easy tabletop position. Spread your fingers, L-shape the hands. Checking in with your low back. Make sure that you're not dumping into the belly. Keep the right hand on the ground and lift your left hand off of the mat and reach it far in front of you. You can always let your left pinky rest right on the ground in front of you, keeping your left arm extended and your left shoulder active. So still extend, but let it rest. Lift up your right knee and extend your right leg long behind you, extended table. Energy out of your right heel, your toes should be pulling into the knee. Now bring awareness into your low belly. Pull it up and into the spinal column and take 2 more breaths. Right there. At the end of your exhale, bring your left hand and your right knee to the mat. Inhale, drop your belly down, lift your tailbone and your chin up. Exhale, pull your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under and round your spine. We're gonna do that 3 more times. Do you have your yoga mat? We don't have any public yoga mats. I'm so sorry. All right, dear. After your 3rd one, return to your tabletop. Keeping the gaze down so that the neck remains long. Take 1 breath in stillness for yourself. Come back to your center. Lift up the right palm. Reach your arm forward. You can again keep your right pinky on the ground, still working but not overexerting. Lift up your left knee, extend your left leg long behind. Try not to let your left hip rise over the right hip. Visualizing your left heel in alignment with your left shoulder as you pull your belly button into your spine. 2 more breaths. Exhale, right hand, left knee down to your mat. Good work. Take your knees wide. Let's rest a moment. Child's pose. Toes close together, arms out long. You can stay active, elbows lifted, or rest completely. Let your elbows melt to the mat. Breath might feel constricted here. If so, slow down. Final breath in your child's. Return to tabletop as you transition into down dog. You can always stay in your tabletop position and just practice length through the spine and strengthening at the wrists. We have 4 more breaths. You don't have to get your heels to touch the ground, but you can take some time to actively walk out your legs. Make sure your index finger is the most forward-facing finger in your downward facing dog. Last breath. Yeah, I just pulling into center. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Now look between your hands, come high onto your toes, and move your feet up to your hands, landing into your forward fold at the front edge of your mat. Staying in your forward fold, Uttanasana. Your feet can be as wide as your hips or maybe as wide as your mat if you need more space for lengthening your back. Option to tuck the hands in between the elbow creases, hanging in ragdoll, or just let your hands stay connected to the ground. Allow your breath to release naturally. Breathe your hands to the mat. Inhale, lift your body halfway up. Breathe your shoulders into alignment with your hips. And tonight, let's airplane the arms. Reach your hands behind you and rotate the wrists so the palms are facing to the ceiling and your thumbs are facing to the midline of your body. A little different than I normally do. Pull your belly button into your spinal column and imagine you're creating more length in your rib cages. If your legs are locked, soften your knees and shift more weight into your toe mounts. If you really want to fire up the muscles in your legs, can you lift your heels and let them gently hover over the mat? This is a more advanced pose, but you can just play around with it and drop the heels if it's not for you. We're gonna take 2 more breaths, more of a challenge. Reach your hands into the midline of the room, palms facing one another, like they're flying ahead of you. Great job, everybody. Exhale, drop the heels, let the hands rest to the earth, fold forward. Stay there, take 1 breath. 1 breath cycle, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your feet exactly where they are. Inhale, rise up, high mountain. Arms overhead, avoid any back bending first time around. And then bring the arms down by the body, mountain pose, palms facing forward. Shoulders rest, tail pulls to the ground. Take 3 breaths. You can close the eyes if that feels right for you. Next 2 breaths. Lift your toes from the mat, spread them apart. Lower them down, try to grip your toes onto the mat. Inhale, open your eyes, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, whether you swan dive or bring hands through heart center. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant your palms on the ground, step back, plank, hold plank. Option number 2, modified plank, lowering your knees down to the mat. Fingers should be just as wide as they are in your down dog. Take another breath in, and on your exhale, drop your knees if you haven't already. Keep the elbows tight to your body, and on your next breath out, lower all the way down to your belly. Chest will also gently touch. Press your feet firmly into the ground and just lift your chest away from the earth, roll your shoulders back, maybe your hands hover over the mat. Floating cobra. Exhale, lower back down, forehead taps. This time, press your hands and your feet, lift your shoulders, shine your heart forward, but keep your elbows slightly bent. And exhale, come on down. This time you can choose. Inhale, full cobra, or if upward facing dog is in your practice, press your feet, lift your knees along with your hips and come into upward facing dog. If you're in up dog, go back to downward facing dog. If you're in cobra, lower back down to your mat. If you're in down dog, stay there. If you're on your mat, inhale, push into your tabletop. Stay in your tabletop or tuck your toes. Meet us in down dog when you are ready. Okay, so that first sun salutation, we broke it down a little bit slower. I want you to take the next 3 breaths and just again, assess. Notice how you feel and how that settled on your body. Don't hold your breath, let it all out. This is the place. Alrighty, let's look forward. Walk the feet up to meet the hands. Stay in your forward fold at the front edge of your mat. Inhale, rise, high mountain. Little back bend if there's no pain. Exhale, fold forward. Knees soft as you hinge through the hips down. Halfway lift, inhale, airplane your arms, nice flat back. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, either drop your knees or push forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. Knees down, lie down, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra to tabletop down dog, or upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Okay? You guys are doing awesome. Watch those fingers spread them nice and wide. Take one more breath. Next inhale, look forward, walk your feet up to your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, high plank. Shift forward, lower, chaturanga. Perfect. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Great job. Exhale, we meet in downward dog, whether you push through table or take it straight to down dog. So staying with the rhythm of your body and your breath, we're going to take one more breath here. Making your way back into your forward fold at the front edge of your mat. From your forward fold, inhale, chair pose. Arms overhead. And if you need more space between the feet, you can certainly take it. But the more challenging position is knees together, feet together. Now, stick in your knees, pull your hips all the way back. Now look down past your knees, pull your knees back so you can see your toes. Okay, there you go. Now keep your spine long, don't look down at the top. Next, exhale, bring your palms together, forward fold. Breathe in, lift halfway up. As you breathe out, let your hands touch the ground and step your right leg all the way back to the back edge of your mat. We're gonna lower the right knee down and untuck the right toes. Inhale, arms up, low lunge position. Anjaneyasana. What I want you to do is pull your hips back into space just a little bit until you feel your tailbone lengthen. Now, once your tail is long, sink your hips forward again. The pose might feel a little bit different. Once your hips are forward, lift your left heel, pushing into your left toe mounds, but don't grip with your tippy toes. Now lower your left heel back down and bring your hands together at your heart. Your gaze is going to be right over your middle fingertips. Press your palms until you feel your triceps fire up. Now pull your shoulders down and back your spine. We're going to be here 2 more breaths. Imagine I'm pulling the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Very nice breathing. Inhale, arms overhead as your palms press actively. Exhale, hands come down to surround your front foot. You're going to tuck the toes of your right foot, lift up your right leg. And you're gonna step your right foot up to meet your front foot, fold forward. You might have to hippity hop, that's okay too. Breathe in to lift halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to high mountain, arms overhead. Little baby back bend as you drive the hips forward, but keep the glutes engaged. Next exhale, fold forward softly. Step your left leg all the way back and lower your left knee down to the mat. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, arms overhead. We're going to keep the arms lifted overhead, bring the palms together, and I want you to try to press the palms just as active as you did while they were at your heart center. Shift the hips back just a little bit again. Tail down, keep the core nice and tight. Now let the shoulders relax down the spine. Shift the hips forward once more. Lift the right heel by pressing into the toe mounds, but not gripping with the toes. Lower the right heel down. Focus on the pressing in and the lengthening. Take another deep breath in. Next exhale, hands come to surround your front foot. Tuck the toes of your back foot by lifting up, and then step the back foot forward, fold at the front edge of your mat. Slowest inhale of your practice will bring you up to stand. Maybe you have to take 2 or 3 more breaths on the way. Once you rise and you notice shoulders over hips, breathe both arms overhead. And whether the arms stay extended or they goalpost, standing back bend. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, chair pose. Great job. Tail to the earth, hands at heart center. Breathe in, look to your right, breathe out, twist to your right. We're not gonna latch any elbows to hips or anything like that yet. I just want you to twist. The crown of your head should still be pulling up to the ceiling. Your elbows should be pulling to either side of the room. Great job. Now without looking, pull your left hip back into space 2 hairs. Okay, now sink down like that much. Take another deep breath in, and on your next exhale, if it's available, place the left elbow in between the thighs or right outside your right knee or thigh. Good. Or just come back into chair and stay at center. That's all good too. Work, good work, good work. Take 1 more breath. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, fold forward. Slow inhale, lift halfway up. Take as much breath as you can in that flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Take your feet outside of hip width apart. Now you have a choice, either peace fingers to peace toes as you lock for a yogi toe lock, or gorilla, hands underneath the feet, fingertips to the arch of the foot, big toe to the crease of your wrist. If your legs are pinned straight and you don't feel any pulling in your low back, you can stay there. Or you might think about softening your knees, enough that your belly could almost sit on your thighs. Or just hang out and keep breathing. Nice. Let's take 1 more breath. And when you release, let one hand touch the earth and then the other. Stay with your hands connected. Inhale, flat back. You can either press your hands or fly them. As you exhale, fold forward again. Heel toe your feet back together if they took a journey. Slow inhale or slow couple of breaths to come up to stand. And that 1 breath to rise is a misconception. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 so you don't pass out. And settle back into your chair pose. Exhale, sinking it down. Remember, long spine. So in your chair, you're always working for more length than you are fold. Nice. So let's bring the hands together. Take a long breath in. Use your exhale to look to the left, twist to the left. Now let's start at the bottom and work our way up. So root the feet down, pull your right hip back into space a little bit. Glue the knees together at the center of your body. Pull your left elbow back into space by pressing your right hand into your left hand. And now focus on the crown of your head pulling up to the sky. Take another deep breath in, and on your exhale, hinge at the waist, bring right elbow between the thighs or outside your left knee. Now we'll add a layer onto this side. If you're in the latch and you feel pretty good, option to flower your arms open. Pulling the left fingertips up as you stack the left shoulder over the right shoulder. One more long inhale. Exhale, closes the flower, hands together. Inhale to center, exhale, take your fold. Breathe in, lift halfway up. Breathe out, fold forward. Take your feet mat width apart. Spin your toes out slightly. That might be like 30 degrees, 45 degrees, who really knows? From where you are, you're gonna sink down, low yogi squat. Bending at the knees. Option number 2 is more of like a halfway lift goddess, as long as your back is flat and your core is tight. If you struggle with this pose, know that you're not alone, and you can always take the feet wider than you might think you need them for more stability. And if this pose is just not in your wheelhouse tonight, forward fold is always good as well. There you go, just like that. That's perfect. Good. Pretending that your heels are a magnet and the opposite is the ground. Sink them down, take 2 more breaths. Simultaneously, hands down, heels out, wide-legged fold. Woo. Yeah, you can make noise, that's okay. I know it's not easy. Take a halfway lift. Big exhale as you fold your body forward. Heel toe your feet back together. And then rise yourself up to stand. Once you get up to stand, either give yourself a little back bend or your body might be calling for a side body stretch. Hands together, left and then to the right. Take the next 20 seconds to yourself. What is the midsection of your body asking you to do? Yeah, there you go. Once you've gotten out all your wiggles and jiggles, we'll return to mountain. Arms down by the body, neutral stance in the body. Not overworking, thinking about your tailbone getting to the ground. Just stand like you would normally stand. Both feet are rooted into your mat, grounding down past the floor into the concrete. Strong and stable. You allow the eyes to open. Connect to your drishti. Palms together, root through your left foot, lift up your right knee, dorsiflex your right foot. Stay or kick it out. Heel right to the center of the room. Notice the shake. You are strengthening your body. Return to center, breathe in. Stay here, or if you would like to fly, as you exhale, extend your right leg long behind. Option 2, right toes tap down behind you, just a little further past the left foot. Perfect. We're going to bring the right foot to meet the left foot. Hands can come to the ground if they need to. If you are in a fold, rise up to stand, back to center. Take 2 breaths. Close the eyes for a second and just checking in with your thoughts. For some crazy reason, when our body finds stillness, our mind goes crazy. It starts to move all over the place. We can't stop that from happening, but what we can do is create space. Take a breath. As the eyes open, root through the right foot. We'll lift the left knee this time. Try not to pull the left knee up any further than the hip line. We don't want to constrict the muscles. On your next exhale, option to kick forward. Maybe you just got a little baby kick. Just a little baby. Use your breath to return to center. It's an exhale that brings you into flight. Left heel no further up than your left hip. Left foot to right foot. Inhale, let's take the arms up for a stretch. Exhale, hands to heart center, close your eyes. Horse's breath. Inhale through your nose, exhale. 2 more times. You guys wait for me. Let the eyes open. Breathe both arms overhead, take a nice stretch. As you breathe out, slow fold forward, release, let your head get nice and heavy at the bottom. Maybe circle it once or twice to either side. Hands just connected to the ground. Moving slow and mindful. Lift halfway, take a strong breath in. Exhale, high plank or tabletop position. High plank to low planker to the ground, tabletop all the way to the ground. Once you get to the ground, fold, rest, untuck the toes. Let your arms go out long, let your right cheek come to the mat. Your heels might want to fall out naturally, just let it happen. Release the engagement of your butt muscles. Take a full breath. Maple syrup on top of a nice hot pancake. Come back to center, either letting your third eye or your chin touch the earth. Arms will remain long. You'll flip your palms so that they face the ground. Zip your legs together. And before you do any active work, I want you to visualize Superwoman flying through the sky. On your next inhale, become Superwoman. Lift away from the ground, fly your fingertips. Imagine your arms are your cape, your feet are your wings. We're here for 3. Let me hear you. 2, your gaze can always stay down if it's too much for the neck. 1. Exhale, melt. Opposite cheek to the mat, arms remain long and rest. Unclench the buttocks muscles, let your feet fall. Breathe. Take 1 more breath. When you come back to center, chin or forehead to the ground, arms will reach out in front of you now, palms facing one another, fingertips resting on the earth. Take your feet about hip width apart. And again, visualize Superwoman. This time, cape is in front of us. On your inhale, lift it up and fly. If you would like to take your arms and your feet a little bit wider, like a 5-point star, you can. And we're together for 3 breaths. Got it. See if you can't go the wheel goes from under the arm. Bend your knees, bend your feet. You stay where you're at. 1 more breath and together. Exhale, lower down. Great job. Forehead down. You can bring your hands to rest one stacked on top of the other and let your forehead rest there. And while you're here, just kind of shimmy your hips from side to side, kind of like shaking on your low belly to release the lumbar. It might also feel good to tuck your toes, driving your heels back for a little stretch in the back of the legs. One more breath of whatever serves you. Let the feet rest. Slide your hands right outside of the rib cages. Be sure to engage your core, zip up through the midline, push yourself up into a tabletop, and let's just remain in that neutral tabletop position. We don't want to push too far back into a child's pose. Let's take 3 cat-cows. Close your eyes. Feel the movement in your spine. Now try to visualize that movement longer than the spine, from the crown of your head all the way to the tips of your toes. Option for child's pose or option for down dog. We're all going to make our way to sit onto our mat. So if you're in child's pose, slowly lift up, swing the legs to one side. Down dog, bring your knees down and swing your legs to one side. Allow your legs to go out long in front of you. Remove any flesh from underneath of the sits bones. And we're going to lift both arms overhead, palms face one another, right over the shoulders, and then allow your shoulders to rest down the sockets. Dorsiflex the feet, so bring them in, drive the heels out. If this is super uncomfortable, separate the feet just outside of hips with the heart. Offer your heart towards the person that's in front of you. Your gaze can stay just gently forward, like just literally offer the energy. Yep, that's it. Think about the core. Strength through the midline to find lots of love and energy at heart center. One more breath in. We're going to take a final twist to the left. Right hand to the left leg, left hand behind you. Take the gaze a little further than you did at the beginning of class if it is there. One more breath. Inhale, seated through center, arms up. Exhale, twisting to the opposite side. Notice that flood of emotion, and it's not for no reason. Just absorb it. Don't try to process it right now. Next inhale, come to center. If you need to adjust, do so. Otherwise, you want to make sure you're at the midline of the mat. We're going to begin to slowly roll back. So arms out long, core tight. Take your time. You can always bring your hands down to the ground if you need them to lower down. Before we bring the knees all the way to the chest, let both feet touch the ground, so just bend your knees. Push your feet so that the low back pushes into the ground. Now lift both knees into your chest, give yourself a nice hug. If you feel the need to shake or move from side to side before we take a supine twist, go ahead. Otherwise, allow your arms to flower open wide, heart center active. Knees will fall to the left. And again, we want to make sure that the knees are not any further up past the hip line. Gaze can work over your right shoulder. Invitation to bring drishti to the backs of the eyes. And relax. Deep cleansing breath before you release from your twist. It's an inhale that brings you back to center. Invitation for a little hug, or if you prefer happy baby, this is a good time to start working on the outside of the hips. With 3 breaths, whatever pose you choose. Recentering the hips, bringing the knees back together if they took a journey apart. Arms out wide, knees will now fall to your left, right. Gaze will work to your left. Always looking at bodies. Release any stale breath out of your body. And then use that space to rest. Back into center. Happy baby, hands to the insteps or pinky edges of your feet. Keeping the knees wide, trying to work them to the edges of the body. If you would like the stretch to benefit the hamstrings a little bit more, you can straighten your legs, still focusing on keeping your low back connected to the ground. Good job. Two more breaths. Driving your spine into the earth on your exhale. You're resting, stay where you're at. Otherwise, bring the legs together, straight, so you are pressing footprints on the clouds. Keeping the arms lifted up as well towards the ceiling. We're going to keep the arms active. On your next exhale, keep your right leg straight, lower it down to the mat. And again, you might need to take 3 or 4 breaths to get your right leg down to the mat. The slower, the better. But you can take just as little time as you'd like. When your right heel touches the earth, breathe in. Use the following exhale to start the journey of your left leg down to the mat. And remember, it's your journey. It doesn't matter how quick or how slow you take it, as long as you are comfortable and confident with that. Once both heels touch the ground, slowly lower both arms down beside you. Let them flower open, palms facing up tonight for receiving of good energy. Exhale, releases tension in your jaw. And on your next breath out, like a wave of positive energy throughout the whole body, just finding stillness, finding relaxation. And holding the space here for yourself for the next few minutes. As you rest, the thoughts will certainly arise. The work here is to create some space between those thoughts. Create space using your breath. When you notice thoughts, take a deep breath. Repeat that process as many times as you need. Breathing in. Breathing out. Enjoy your meditation tonight. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out softly. Lengthen and deepen each breath that you take. expanding with every breath cycle until your body has awakened. And then taking movement through your body, your hands and your feet, rolling over your ankles and your wrists. It might feel good to lengthen your arms above you and take a long, good morning stretch. And make your way over to right side fetal position when you are ready. A little moment of silence in the transition period here after your practice. A time to reflect and to notice, not to judge, not to worry, but to project. Deep breath of strength. And then lifting yourself from the earth. Easy seat with hands at heart center. I thank you all so much for joining me tonight in movement and in meditation. The light within me honors and reflects the light that is within each one of you. And until we meet again, I bow my head in gratitude. Namaste. Great job tonight. Take your time coming out of the practice. We did a lot of grounding, a lot of work on the legs, so drink lots of water, get lots of rest, and we'll see you again soon. You're welcome. Thank you. Good job. Yeah, we are like 3 minutes early, but yeah. You did. Your intuition was spot on.
It seemed like 10 minutes, so.
Hi, Lois.
I forgot. I was expecting to get other people. Bye.
It's like I don't forget. I'm always like, I'm not in a rush to like get off the ground either. Oh.
Bye.
Let me see my friends. Hi, there we go. Bye, Olivia. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.